Welcome to State of Affairs. I'm Steve Adubato. We're coming to you from the Agnes Varus NJTV studio in downtown Newark, New Jersey. It is our honor once again to introduce our friend, John Sarno, President, Employers Association of New Jersey. John, real quick recap. Your association represents whom?
Well, we are comprised of over 3,500 employers, and we help good employers be better through education, training, counsel, and benefit plans.
John, we're talking right before we got in there, and you said this has been one of the most aggressive agendas going all the way back to the 1930s when it comes to worker protection in New Jersey. What do you mean? What does that mean?
Well, I think that's right. It's been a very progressive, aggressive agenda from the New Jersey legislature and the governor. And quite frankly, there's been probably 2 decades of built-up demand for minimum wage increases.
So increasing to $15 an hour over a period of years, that's a big deal.
It's clearly a big deal. It's definitely a big impact item. Earned sick leave.
What does that mean for people, earned sick leave?
Well, there are tens of thousands of New Jerseyans who are balancing work and family, who are unable to take leaves of absences from their employers, and either they're choosing between their job or their family demands. And if they do get the leave, they're not going to be compensated for it.
And so now there's a longer period of time that you can be compensated.
That's correct. So from 6 weeks to 12 weeks.
And also the people in your orbit, in your family, in your world, who now have a problem or are sick and you are caring for them has expanded.
Siblings, parents, grandparents, and also families of choice. Folks who are the equivalent of family members. Right. And of course, time off to take care of your own medical condition as well. So,
and about equal pay for equal work, talk about that, because employers are prohibited from offering lower pay and benefits to workers in protected classes such as women and minorities. Break that down.
Yeah, I think this is the potential game changer, because this amends the New Jersey law against discrimination. It creates a private right of action, which is a lawsuit, a jury trial, treble damages, and it really puts a very strategic focus on how people are paid. Very small businesses are kind of idiosyncratic, very reactive. They're very unstructured on how they pay people. Some of it is based on very subjective reasons. I think going forward, this could be the big game changer.
Well, game changer in what way? Are you saying that there are certain kinds of businesses who aren't going to be able to handle this?
Well, on average, women make about 80 cents in New Jersey for every dollar a man makes. So, I mean, there's multiple...
And we agree that's not fair.
Well, but there's multiple reasons for that. I mean, there's demographic reasons, there are cultural reasons. Not all of that can be explained as job discrimination, but some of it can. And when you're looking at jobs, right, you have to make an effort to determine what's an equivalent job and to reach or achieve a pay equity. And quite frankly, not many businesses are equipped or sophisticated enough to do that. So the question is how transformative this will be over time.
You know, it's so interesting, John, as you talk about this. By the way, let me say that John is one of the group of folks who help support what we're doing here on State of Affairs and other public policy programs with his organization. But I'm curious about something as you talk about this. You seem to be saying that even with the best intentions, it's hard to pull this off.
Well, it requires resources, right? Because, you know,
HR resources, legal resources.
Compensation resources, particularly with equal pay. I mean, that's one of the pieces of advice I give to a small business owner, is be less subjective and have a resource you can refer to, just to be able to show that you're acting in good faith and not intentionally discriminating. You
know, I'm curious about this. Our sister series, Think Tank, tries to look at some national issues and talks to people in this region about those national issues and trends. To what degree, John Sarno, does what we're talking about and these changes, this very progressive agenda regarding quote-unquote worker protection, potentially impact the relationship, I shouldn't do it like that, but potentially the relationship between employers and employees?
Well, it's enormous, and it's very dynamic. And if you're looking at context,
This is across the nation, too. I want to be clear.
There's a global context, and it's driven by demographics, right? So if you look at, family leave, look at our labor pool, look at our workforce. Working parents, many single parents who are caring for children, who are caring for older parents. So, it's no coincidence that we have this remedial legislation at this time, because it's driven by a huge demographic force that goes beyond just New Jersey. Family leave is also to care for a newborn, right? There are 300 babies born in New Jersey every day, mostly to working parents.
So what does it create potentially more tension between employers and employees, because while they all want to be supportive of each other in theory, their agendas don't match up?
Well, it's a great question, because not every business is an employer, right?
What do you mean by that? You said that to me before. I said,
yes.
So you represent businesses. You said, no, I represent employers.
Correct.
What's the difference?
Employers compete on talent, and businesses compete on price. Employers invest in their people because they're looking to tap innovation and drive the product line. A business tends to treat employees or workers as interchangeable, and therefore tend to race to the bottom. So, we're looking at two separate classes of business/employers in New Jersey. I think employers are going to be able to get this right because they've already gotten the mindset. They've already invested in the human resources. It's really the businesses and the small businesses that are really viewing this as a interference in their ability to manage
And the time we have left, you've often talked to me offline about the fact that there are certain things we're not doing, could be doing, should be doing, whether it relates to health care costs or whatever. One thing that's not on the agenda right now, or should be higher up on the agenda, that would help improve the relationship between employers and employees is?
Well, it's really about health care, clearly.
Costs still exponentially out of control.
Without a doubt. And
ACA goes away. The Trump administration is talking about it. Say it goes to the courts, it goes away. Good, bad, what?
Well, we're here. We're along in New Jersey. We're going to do our own thing. I mean,
The governor said we're doing our own thing.
Right. We have a market that is still unable to provide affordable care. It's a work in progress. Employers, most of us get our health care through an employer-sponsored plan. So unless you can figure out a way to make those prices affordable, then you're looking at a real major problem going forward.
I just want to make clear, you talk to employers every single day about these issues.
Every day. Myself, my staff, every single day.
And deal with them from a very practical versus a theoretical or abstract point of view.
In the trenches.
Bottom line, trying to make budget, trying to do what you got to do.
Right. Clearly, again, going back to demographics, you have people who have medical conditions, people who are raising families, yet they are still employees that we count on every single day.
John Sarno is president of the Employers Association of New Jersey. I want to thank you for joining us here on State of Affairs. We appreciate it. Well done.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Adubato. This is State of Affairs. We're at NJTV. We'll be right back right after this.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 30 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of State of Affairs with Steve Adubato has been provided by Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, PSC&G, United Airlines, RWJ Barnabas Health, TD Bank, Berkeley College, and by Summit Medical Group.